say that respectfully.
No, it's a trick over me, goddamn. My cousin lost from everybody else. Oh, okay. No, it's a trick over me. It's not.
Always be yourself with no misintentions. I say that respectfully. To the genuine ones with no malicious intentions, I truly hope that you continue to find peace within, regardless to who gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey. My content is not for everyone. Healing trauma and pain is not a race or an overnight process, and I say that respectfully. It's not. Never give up on yourself when someone says that you don't have potential. Never give up on yourself because someone gave up on you, overlooked you, didn't know how to protect you, they don't respect you. Even days when you got lost in your words, who would have let you be standing before yourself today? Understand the balance when it came to finding yourself, to better yourself when it came to your mental health. You didn't get shortchanged when it came to your word, sight, and day. You know, patience, time, and day, elevation came growth. Understanding that, hold on one second, you wasn't trying to lose yourself in that last testimony. You wasn't trying to hurt folks. Always be yourself. When you ain't got hate in your vein, they would never understand growth when it comes to elevation. That vision hits different. They look at your neighbor like competition. Believing in something to go within, hold on one second, was confidence. How certain folks think you that you think you better than somebody when you was far from cocky. That energy is different. I don't mean no disrespect. It be the train of thought for me, being authentic nowadays. Folks will try to paint you out to be the catch a case when you had that mindset at the end of the day, all you did was believe in your faith. Your vocabulary hits different when it comes to self-love. Keeping it real with your self-love. Who would have knew that 401 love? Hold on one second. I got my back, not to dim my light. I got my back, not to dim my light. Yeah, man, I'm worthy not to overlook me. Yeah, they gave up on me, try to humble me. But I was willing to choose me, understand my growth when it comes to my reality. I'm mad I'm worthy. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully, regardless to who gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey. You matter and you are worthy. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay.
Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater. What about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater. What about you?
Where do I start when I choose myself? I felt like I did my life for so long, only for folks to do me wrong. I wasn't looking for validation to be my authentic self, but folks looked at me like competition, painting me out to be delusional when I wasn't trying to catch a case. Let don't reject myself another day. I understood self-control when it came to discipline. Who would have knew that God would allow me to see that I was worthy? You know, God not for sale. They would never understand how trauma and pain truly can heal. But it's a process when it comes to that stage. Actually being emotionally available, who would have knew that you wasn't acting childish another day? You was actually maturing. You didn't have hate in your vein. They would never understand your time and day. Hold on one second. You understood gravity. You was the blessing to yourself, not to reject yourself. You was the blessing to yourself. The miracle that God allowed you to feel, to go within and truly heal. Healing childhood trauma was real and went into your adulthood. They would never understand that. Hold on one second. Time and day don't look the same when it comes to your vocabulary. I wasn't trying to become my worst enemy. They would never understand my gravity. How God was pointing me in the right direction, misleading me from direction that I was supposed to turn. They would never understand how God made me feel. Balance is different. How folks be trying to distract you. But showing up for you. You wasn't looking for validation. You wasn't doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. How certain folks would try to humble you. But they forgot to put respect on your name when you motivate in the most healthiest way. They try to shortchange you when it comes to hold on one second. Self-love. How someone would sit there and play with spoken in a toxic way. But you understood self-control when it came to discipline. You wasn't trying to lose yourself another day. Praying to go within, asking God for guidance. Asking God to protect you from the enemy, even when you get lost in your words. Never overlook you'll give up on you when someone says you ain't got potential. Always be yourself with no misintentions. I am Naya to you and I respect that my content is not for everyone.
What's going on, neighbor? What's going on? Hope all is well on your end, neighbor. Hope all is well on your end. I say that respectfully.
Wow.
RESPCT.
I knew how to respect me. I almost overlooked me just to really almost reject me. I was hurting myself with my own words because I understand my vision. I was being misled by spoken in a toxic way, only for God to show me I needed God that day. I had to pray. And when I prayed, God allowed me to feel uplifted mentally, physically, spiritually. Who would have knew? God never left my side. That energy is different. When your heavenly mother, father, God never moved their hands off that boil, and you wasn't doing it for likes and views, they would never understand the potential that you truly have within you. A vision that they can relate to with self-confidence. God showed you peace within. It was the hold on 1 second. It was never competition. Having that relationship with God, they would never understand the hold on 1 second. Thank you, God, for not giving up on me.
I understood that right foot, left foot. I understood that right foot from left foot. I was catching my blessings, not to dim my light. I was catching my blessings, not to dim my light. I am worthy. When my neighbor was thirsty. Neighbor, 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 are you okay? Neighbor, 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 are you okay? Neighbor, neighbor, are you okay? Your soul now for sale. Neighbor, 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 neighbor.
Wow. You know, God not for sale. Certain folks who never understand how time can truly heal. You've been blindsided for so long, playing with spoken in a toxic way to do yourself wrong, only to come across someone who was truly authentic, truly bought you pounds when you least expected, made you frown within. But hold on 1 second. It made you frown within because someone truly knew how to smile. You try to project spoke on an innocent person, or because they was being authentic. They was their biggest cheerleader. You didn't understand how to undo what you did that day because you was misleading yourself. You didn't understand your real plan. You got lost when the word of God, only to realize that God wasn't a lie, only for you to realize the hold on 1 second. I just want to become my best self versus than myself. You ever been that type of person that didn't like to ask for help? You ever been that person that didn't understand that hold on 1 second? Everybody's not here to hurt you, but in your mindset it truly was. Only for you to realize what growth looks like. Because when an angel walks into your life with that good person that actually has a beautiful heart, you know that soul that hits different. Not your typical norm, but they wasn't trying to do you wrong. Not your typical norm. They actually knew how to respect you, even days when you couldn't see. They wanted you to become your best self vision of yourself, to truly pray to go within. I may pray differently, but who would have knew that your toxic behavior truly brought you patience when it comes to time and day to truly heal to go within. You let go of your past life. It wasn't easy letting go because you thought that was going to make your day bright. Only for you to realize you was hurting yourself with your own words. Who would have knew you was truly the gift of yourself? Only for you to realize you was trying to overlook you the other day. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. Don't give up on yourself because someone says you don't have potential. Don't give up on yourself because you went the wrong direction in life. And you looked at everybody like competition, and you've been all this time playing with spoken in a toxic way towards innocent people. You didn't want someone to elevate faster than you, but they was never part of your race. You said God was never real, but God was always keeping it real. We may not pray the same, but someone could truly walk into your life to show you the hold on 1 second. That child of God, that divine one, that chosen one, they was never doing it for likes and views. They just knew how to respect their neighbor. They never thought they was better than anybody. That energy is different. And they didn't have to play with spoken and toxic ways, let alone energy harvest off your energy, or let alone blackmail you against you. Who would have knew that God truly showed you balance that day? The right person walking into your life when you least expected. Imagine crowd where folks didn't understand your pain behind closed doors. Who would have knew that God truly didn't overlook you? It was a time in your life you thought you wasn't ready to choose you, but only was the hold on 1 second. You wasn't trying to overlook you. How this type of stuff actually happens. How a person would look at their neighbor like competition all day long, only to realize the hold on 1 second. I cannot do myself wrong. Well, I don't even have this mindset of having hate and jealousy and envy within me. I hate somebody who had this envy mindset because they know how to be the authentic self. I have this mindset of being miserable and I don't understand how to better myself. I kicked this innocent person down for so long. That's what you truly saying, neighbor. You didn't know how to heal. Only for someone to truly come into your life. It wasn't forced. and allows you to heal. You know, healing trauma and pain is not a race overnight process, but God is not for sale. We may not pray the same, but respect's a two-way street. Who would have known? You don't allow you to overlook you. You know, I'll be very respectful. My content is not for everyone. It's not. And that's okay. It was elevate, elevate, socialize, socialize, elevate, socialize, socialize. Catching your blessings, not to dim your light. A matter of celebrating with the right people by your side. I'm far from the hate, ain't got that in my vein. They say chill, you wacky, you corny, you ain't nobody at the end of the day. Hold on 1 second, neighbor, 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 neighbor. I'm far from delusional, far from crazy. I ain't have to disrespect my neighbor. I was just being my authentic self. Got folks bent out of shape, shaking in their boots, holding realized the hold on 1 second. They looked at me like competition when I was never part of their race. How this type of stuff actually happens. Got folks in the background playing with spoke in a toxic way. Lying on your name right to left because they don't want you to understand your own reality, being your authentic self. They want you to frown, but God maintaining your smile. How miracles truly do happen when you least expect it. It didn't have to take a holiday for you to love yourself to make God proud. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I'm not your general respect. Always be yourself. Always be yourself, not to dim your light. You know, when someone says that you don't have potential, that does not mean reject you or give up on you. And I say that respectfully. You know, no child should have to go homeless because their upbringing was not the typical norm from everybody's household. No child should be put into the street because someone doesn't understand self-control when it comes to discipline. And the right people should be able to walk into this child's life and not do it for likes and views or clout chasing and can't even respect that baby because that's a child of God. You know, regardless to how old you are, when you're a child of God, the energy is different. It don't matter what tax bracket you in. Don't matter what neighborhood you from. Who dimmed your light that day. You are not worthy of. You are not worthy. That's what they said. Imagine someone saying that you are not worthy. You are not worthy of having a household. You are not worthy of having a roof over your head. For protection. For love. And for you to be able to be in a mindset of elevation and growth. Regardless if you have a mother or father and that's around or not, nobody deserves to be homeless, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. It's kind of funny how certain individuals will walk into people's life regardless of what they're going through. And they want to outdo the next person because someone may not be more financially stable, but someone may have more wisdom than them. Or somebody more smarter than somebody in certain areas. Because, you know, money sometimes is not always about money. And especially when you're going to someone's life to genuinely help somebody. You're not doing it for likes and views or clout chasing. You're not. And you're not walking into somebody's life to energy harvest off their energy or try to destiny swipe with them or project spirit towards them or hack their devices or gang stalk them. My content is not for everybody. People be like, I want to help somebody, but they be having a mindset, hold on 1 second. This is actually a good investment. That shortchange these folks at the end of the day. Ain't nobody going to believe us. We're going to have these kids bugging out. You know, God sees everything. You know, someone will have a mindset. They could be so motivated by you. They could be so inspired by you. But because it's you, they would never want to put respect on your name. They want you to bow down to them. They want you to be a crash out. How this type of stuff actually happens. And when you don't do what they perform at the end of the day, they want to get you locked up, put you in the sideboard because they can't energy harvest off your energy. They can't destiny swipe with you. They can't have the control mindset of trying to control your narrative. How this type of stuff actually happens. And there's nothing cute or attractive about it regardless of someone's tax bracket. It's funny how, no, it's not funny actually. How a child's trying to change their life and they was already in the street. How a child is trying to change their life because they couldn't stay in that classroom too long of a whole full day. So you know what the next option was? Let me go somewhere, a trade school, so I can get tools that I need to better me in the future. And picking up a trade, someone said, you know what, I get a diploma as well too. All in one. And not only that, but everybody's household is not the same. Because it could be someone in the household, a mother or father could be sick, and that child is so overwhelmed, but that mother and father wants that baby to continue school, and they say, you know what, your next option, because you done failed so many classes, go to a trade school and get your diploma. Get everything all in one so you can better your future. Because we want you to have the proper tools when it comes to a career and having the motivation that you are deserving of. Only for that child to be stripped away, or that child to be stripped away. Some people go into a household because of the fact that some people are going into a household and some are not. And because of certain individuals' age, they can't just go into a regular shelter. It's overbooked. Now, that child is lost. You know, everybody's walk of life is not the same when it comes to being homeless. Because now with the way the system is, it's so hard to get into a shelter nowadays. And not only is it hard to get into a shelter nowadays, when it's so overpopulated, you don't have the proper staff in there. You don't have the proper tools there. You don't have the proper this, the proper that at the end of the day. How this type of stuff became the norm, and it's not the norm. Because nobody should be homeless, regardless of their tax bracket, regardless of their education, regardless of their mental health. It should be no reason why babies should be scared and worried about going to a service that they not even signed up for, or being put into a mental institutionalized system, being brainwashed, or going to jail. Because of the fact that someone said, you know what, I got controlling issues. How this type of stuff became the norm. Someone decided to say, you know what, I'm going to go a couple of states over to start school, do a trade school. They can't go back home because there's no home. And only from them realize that someone says, you know what, this program is done. And they have nowhere to go. And the resources that they have for these people is very limited because it's not long term. It's not long term. And because it's not long term, what's that baby's next step? Now this baby's labeled as a criminal. Now this baby's and has an addiction problem when all this could have been prevented. That's what was supposed to have been prevented from when that baby left out of that environment they was in from the first place. So they won't have to go into those unhealthy habit areas, environments, communities. Someone's already trying to escape themselves, only to realize that, hold on 1 second, I feel stuck today. What do I do? Got a baggage, whole bag of clothes. Knocking on the door, nobody's home. It'd be the train of thought for me. You have some folks who have the access to having a mother and father present, but you have that with some that don't. And it's so sad to see that children have to go out into a world and knowing that they're in fear and they're scared, not knowing where their next meal is going to come from. They shouldn't have to do unhealthy things to be in an environment, to have to grow up fast than what they was already experiencing. Now more trauma is being endured within them. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. You know, there's mothers and fathers that actually care about their children. Regardless if that child didn't finish high school. It was an agreement that said, you know what? Being I didn't finish high school or finish school, I'm going to go off to a trade school and get my diploma. And because they decide to get their diploma and get a trade, you know, some people change their life for the better. Some people become very well-known business owners in their community. Some actually become entrepreneurs in their community. Some actually become mothers and fathers and didn't do what their parents did to them. They didn't run from their responsibilities. They didn't abandon their responsibilities. They wasn't out here doing the things that they used to do. They was addicts. They used to rob people. They're not living that mindset anymore. And how they went to a trade school, they went to an environment that made them feel safe, and amongst their peers, They grew out of that mindset. Or not even that, they was able to get a job. They was able to know that when I leave out this door, I'm going to be okay. You know, not every facility, and I hate to say that word, but not every site is the same, because not everybody gets dealt with the same. Because you have a site that has bad behavior, and then you have a site at the end of the day that has good behavior. And sometimes it's not the people that are present, it's the staff members. It's a train of thought for me. You know, when these individuals go into these environments, they're going there in the mindset of not being homesick. They're going there not having the mindset of escaping themselves. They're going there to get the proper services that they need. And people being genuinely respectful and actually taking care of them in the most healthiest way as someone wants to be taken care of, as if that was their child or their loved one, their cousin, their uncle or niece, or whatever the case may be. My content is not for everyone. It's not. My content is not for everybody. There's no need to disrespect me, and I say that respectfully. It's not. Because nobody is supposed to be in a mindset of being mentally, physically, emotionally, or even spiritually robbed. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. It don't matter about someone's culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age. It's individuals that left certain programs and they went out into the real world, right? They're directors now at a shelter and have the number one top shelter out of the whole city. You'll be so surprised who it is too. It'd be the train of thought for me. How someone went from being homeless, not having nobody by their side to support them, to turning their life around and fixing their community. They can't help everybody, but the people that they are able to help, they make sure that they're there for their people. They wish they can help everybody. And they was never doing it for likes and views or clout chasing, because when you go into these type of places to help people, it's not about popularity. It's not about likes and views or clout chasing. You're doing it from the heart. And just because you got a couple of dollars at the end of the day, that doesn't make you any better than the next person. Because when you do something, when it comes to money, and yet you don't have good intentions behind it, it tells a lot about your character traits. You was just doing it to outdo somebody else. You was just doing it just to talk about it and brag about it. Actually helping somebody at the end of the day, it starts within. My content is not for everyone. It don't matter how old you are. When you stop school, you didn't get your diploma or not, you didn't get a trade or whatever the case may be, your job site ain't for you. Because everybody may not like their job. It's some people that are not mentally, emotionally available to work for customer service. It don't matter what their job description is. And I say that respectfully. You could be a supervisor for HRA all day long, been there for 20 years. But they can't stand their job. But then you have that one supervisor that loves their job. And then you have, it don't matter what department it is or what job title it is. A person could be on a job site for over 40, 50 years and they can't stand their job. And some people say, I wish I was able to go back to school. But then they say to themselves, some people say to themselves, damn, I went to school, I got this degree, I got this, I can't even maintain out here still. What I love to do so bad, I can't even, what was the point of going to school if I'm not able to fulfill the job duties of what I want to do? I got all these degrees, I got all these certifications, I did all these tests, I paid for this class, I paid for that class, and only for me to get into an environment that realize, hold on one second, my community is not even for me. Some people get into certain communities, the pay rate is not even decent. And especially if it doesn't matter if you're a single person or you have a family. It doesn't matter. Somebody been on a job site for over 40 years. That's what they said. 40 years. And they said that they don't get the proper respect. They don't get the proper finances. They don't even get holiday, don't get this, they don't get that, or whatever the case may be. So because they don't get all these tools that they feel like they deserve, they abuse the community because someone is not respecting them. How this type of stuff actually happens. You could be on a job site for over 40 years, and because you got a supervisor that's a slum board, or whatever the case may be, that don't want to pay you, or don't know how to respect you, or don't even know your name, you take your frustration and your anger out on your community. But then you pick and choose who you want to bully, though. You pick and choose who you want to be disrespectful to. And someone ain't got to do nothing to you for you to even have that mindset. How this type of stuff actually happens. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. It's not. How this type of stuff actually happens. It's certain people that are in certain fields in their life where they say, you know what? I'm not interested in this anymore. I'm starting to fall back from it, but I don't know what I want to do with my career yet. I don't know what I want to do to expand my life. I don't know what I want to do that makes me happy within. Because not everybody is deserving to be behind a desk all day long. Not everybody can communicate with people all day long. Certain people don't know how to talk to children. Certain people don't know how to talk to people. They don't. And then you get this job title, or you get this investment, or whatever the case may be. You don't even know how to treat the people in the community. You pick and choose who you want to bully. And then when certain people come to you with problems and stuff, you try to figure out your train of thought is, I can't even answer that question. Matter of fact, let me get somebody to help you answer this question. And they can't even answer that question. Because nobody has experienced certain things in life to actually help somebody when it comes to healing trauma and pain within that community. And then you send somebody to go to a psychiatrist, or this dentist, or this therapist. And you're sending somebody to go see these people, and someone is still not mentally okay. And then the first thing you want to do is put them in a psych ward, get them locked up, or dim their light. How folks actually do this type of stuff to get rid of the problem. Instead of getting rid of the problem, what happened to fixing the community? What happened to respecting the community? People pick and choose who they want to respect. People pick and choose who they want to bully. It don't matter about someone's culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age. Someone sees somebody doing this in a career, whatever the case may be. Well, you got a couple of dollars. That's cool. That's nice. But the only reason why you did and picked up certain trades, or you got that investment, or you did this or you did that, you did it out of spite. You didn't do it to mean well to the community. Because now in the background, you fucking playing with sport. You energy harvest off the next person's energy. You out here destiny swiping, hacking people's devices, and gang stalking somebody. Or even trying to destiny swipe with somebody. That's not godly. And then you got all this hate and jealousy and envy within you. How this type of stuff becomes the norm. There's nothing the norm about this type of stuff at all. But the enemy, let alone the devil, allows you to believe that this was the norm for so long. That's not godly at all. People are like, God, your soul ain't for sale. God is not for sale. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. It's not. I am not genuine love, respect. When you do something from the heart, you don't do it to run up on the next person, to brag and try to humiliate somebody. Because you say someone is not financially stable, and then you probably be the same woman behind the scenes making sure that someone doesn't become financially stable too. How people actually do this type of stuff. They do. They don't want you to invest in yourself or invest in your future. And they see that you got potential. So they be in the background making sure they humiliate you. They disrespect you. They do everything in their power because they have the proper tools. And they know this person in this department. They know somebody in that department. And if they don't know somebody in that department or that department, they're going to make sure they know somebody. And they're going to find a way to make sure they dim an innocent person's life. because they don't want someone elevating and prosper failing in the know. But it was never about likes and views or clout chasing. Never. My content's not for everybody, and God sees everything. Never give up on yourself when someone says you don't have potential. Regardless, they have to dig up your past to try to humiliate you. They try to blackmail you against you. They sit there and threaten to get you locked up, put you in a psych ward. They sit there and threaten your life. Gang stalking you, hacking your devices. They sit there and threaten your life. That they're going to have you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and financially robbed. Because it's you. They have envious within you. And you didn't have to do anything to anybody besides be you. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. Healing trauma and pain is not a race or an overnight process. You know, when God sends the right people into your life, respect will be a two-way street. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. They would never look at you like competition. They don't have hate in their vein. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Someone is having an addiction problem, or someone is battling mental health, and the first thing you say is, I'm going to put them in a psych ward. I'm going to lock them up. They're as human as you. Because would you want somebody to do that to you? Regardless to what the circumstances is. Because there's somebody in this world that can help that person. But this is what the enemy and the devil don't want. The devil and the enemy doesn't want someone to help that person heal. People pick and choose who they want to heal. You know, it's not being an actor and acting at the end of the day, because someone wasn't acting when they was going through mental health crises. Someone just lost a mother or a father. That relationship, that divorce really put them in a mindset of being not themselves anymore. Dealing with childhood trauma, going into their adulthood. Everybody's walk of life is not the same. But there is somebody in this world that can help that person. That person probably been to multiple therapists, psychiatrists, or whatever the case may be. They was not able to help them. Regardless how much money you say you're going to spend on this person to get this person the proper tools and the proper help, that person still didn't get the tools that they needed to actually heal. Because it was deep within, and certain folks can't understand or relate to certain individuals when someone truly wants to heal. They may not tell you that they want to heal, but when they come across the right person, and when they speak to the right person that's not going to blackmail them or disrespect them, or little energy harvest off the energy or project spirit onto them, or gang stalk them or hack the devices, or blackmail them against themselves, someone that actually respect their neighbor. Someone sees their neighbor. Someone knows how to speak to their neighbor. Someone understands their neighbor. It's not an acting role where you're reading a script. It's somebody's life. Just like you want someone to help you. Regardless of your tax bracket. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. What's going on, neighbor? What's going on? Hope all is well on your end, neighbor. Hope all is well on your end, neighbor. No, for real. Healing trauma and pain is not a race overnight process. You know, when God sends the right people into your life, I don't worship the devil good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. But I do know how to respect my neighbor with no malicious intentions. Regardless to who's in the background trying to blackmail me against me, I would never hurt myself. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. And when it comes to my creativity, I get it from my Heavenly Mother, my Heavenly Father God. And one thing I don't do is play with spoken in a toxic way. Energy harvest off my neighbor's energy. Destiny swipe with my neighbor. I don't gang stalk people. And I don't hack with devices. I got my own blueprint when it comes to my anointings. Being somebody else, it wasn't part of my vocabulary. That motivation hits different when all you have to do is be yourself. Folks won't put respect on your name because it's you that day. They so inspired at the end of the day, they try to dim your light when you wasn't trying to project pain. They try to make you feel like you're supposed to be bent out of shape when you wasn't trying to catch a case. The blackmailing was real. Only for you to realize the whole 1 second you still stand before yourself today when you understood confidence. You know, certain individuals don't like the fact that you have confidence. They don't like that. And they will sit there and paint y'all to be delusional, crazy. A vocabulary that is controlling in their mindset so they can control your narrative. All because you was being yourself. How this type of stuff actually happens. I am Naya, in your respect, that my content is not for everyone. It's not. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? When someone says that you don't have potential, that does not mean give up on you. You ain't have hate in your vein. Understanding your calling, hold on 1 second. They try to dim your light when it came to elevation. They made sure they distracted you to stop you. They made sure they went to the right department so nobody would see your intuition. That you was truly being authentic. When they try to blackmail you against you, you mad and you're worthy. And you are respected and loved by the right community that's truly for you. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. Never stop being yourself because someone says you don't have potential. Or someone threatens your life and says nobody ever's going to believe you. Because they said that they're going to make sure that they will have a community go against you. But your story never changed. And one thing you didn't have to do was lie on your neighbor. And one thing you never had to do when it comes to maturing was run from your past. That is just different. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I am Naya, genuine love, respect. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone and always did. And I say that respectfully. You know, when God sends the right people into your life, y'all may not pray the same, but respect a two-way street. They don't have envy or hate within them or jealousy within their bone. All their blood cells. They don't look at you like competition. They understand that, hold on 1 second. Maturing hits different. Acting your body weight, hold on 1 second. I wasn't listening to he say, she say when it came to you, neighbor. I knew how to respect you even days when you couldn't see. I didn't have to trauma bond you. I didn't have to compare our trauma to look at you like competition, to dim your light, because I wanted you to elevate. I saw potential within you. You with certain folks' issue I didn't understand, but hold on 1 second, I get it. They lack self-confidence because you truly had it within you.
No, I ain't take up when you got confidence. People don't like that shit. No, they don't.
You know, misery loves company. And when the right people walk into your life, they fall from that. That energy is different. When the outside worlds try to dim your light, the right people truly by your side truly brings you peace. The energy is different. When y'all don't run from your past, self-growth looks different when it comes to, hold on 1 second, true dreams can truly last. That unconditional love, they will never understand that, hold on 1 second, you mad and you are worthy. I am Naya, genuine love, respect. Always be yourself. And I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. How someone will sit there and try to say they're going to humble you, but you've been humble this whole entire time. You know how it feels to have an empty digestive system. And you wasn't doing it for likes if you was a cloud chaser. You may have to sell your soul. That energy is different because God was never for sale. They would never understand elevation. When God restored you, understand that last testimony while you stand before yourself today. Understanding this next chapter in your life, it began with you because God was really showing you the hold on 1 second. I'm not done with you. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. When it comes to self-love, it's not competition. When it comes to healing trauma and pain, it was never competition. Because what someone is experienced, regardless of trying to dig up their past or whatever the case may be, can nobody ever tell that person's story better than them. Regardless to what chapter in someone's life that they came in, can nobody ever tell someone's life better than them. The one who actually owns their own shoes. Because they walked that journey. Regardless if they walked it alone or not. Can nobody ever tell your life story better than you? So never allow someone to manipulate you or disrespect you and tell you about you. I am Nia Genuine Love Respect, and my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. Healing trauma and pain, it's not a race or an overnight process, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. I'm about to wrap this video up. Today is currently May 31st, 2025. Unconditional love. They said I was delusional. Yeah, that was you that day. Looking in the mirror. A beautiful picture going within. The beauty started within. They will never understand your growth when it comes to your mental health. Hold on 1 second. I shortchanging yourself another day. Being patient with time and day. That vocabulary hits different when it comes to hold on 1 second.
I love myself, not to dim my light. I love myself. Thank you, God, for being patient with me.
I may be off beat, but God truly knew how to realize the hold on 1 second. God was truly stepping for me. The hand is different. I ain't worship the devil. I may get lost in my words, but who would have knew that God truly allowed me to heal to understand this next type of level? You know, confidence hits different. That self-love was truly real. It was like that 411 type of love. I got me, not to dim my light. I got me, not to dim my light. I got me, I gotta keep it real with me. Yeah, they gave up on me, overlooked me during my journey. They said I didn't have potential. I love myself, not to dim my light. I love myself, not to dim my light. Once upon a time was complicated. Getting lost in your own words when it comes to your vocabulary. Who would have knew that you was truly thinking? Wow. It was you. You are beautiful. You are handsome. You never saw the features within you to actually realize that, hold on 1 second, you was truly beauty holding on to yourself. You have folks come into your life that disrespect you, take your kindness or weakness, mentally, emotionally abuse you. But who would have known that you would have truly chose you not to overlook you? Wow. One day at a time was changing day. You know, being patient, understanding growth, maturing. They would never understand the hold on 1 second. Thank you, God, for being patient with me. Having to go within and actually pray to realize the hold on 1 second, I wasn't trying to reject me and not respect me. Healing childhood trauma was real. Being an adult, who would have knew that you can truly heal? Wearing that mask for so long, only to remove it, to realize the hold on 1 second, I wasn't trying to lose me another day. That childhood trauma went into your adulthood. God, if you can hear me, show me a sign. I just want to heal. I just want to become my best self, vision of myself in every area in my life. Hey, butterfly. A dream. God chose you. Elevation. A caterpillar. Understanding the butterfly mindset at the end of the day. Hold on 1 second. You're actually blossoming. They would never understand. I don't mean no disrespect, but it comes with growth. It's a change in your life now. Only realize the folks ain't gonna understand you when it comes to maturing. But don't give up on yourself another day, because God's pointing in the right direction. You got a plan, is your faith. Who would have knew? Coming out your comfort zone, God wasn't misleading you. You were standing before yourself today to realize the hold on 1 second. I wasn't trying to lose me another day. The energy is different. Overcoming that abusive relationship, or you probably still in it, who knows? Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Did you have to get physical that day for someone to disrespect you? Only to realize the hold on 1 second. God did not mislead you. Because love wasn't supposed to hurt. Someone said they love you, but they was projecting lust. They had to play with spoken in text to get your time and day. Only if you realize the hold on 1 second. I wasn't trying to lose me another day. You had mommy and daddy issues. That's what they said that day. But who would have knew by time, with time and day and change, those open wounds could truly heal? That energy is different when it comes to growth. My content ain't for everybody. And I never gave nobody permission to use my creativity. Today's currently May 31st, 2025. Not one lie was told. Wow. You ain't have nobody to protect you, let alone love you, let alone respect you. You had to grow up fast. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Who would have knew that you'd be standing before yourself today as the man and woman that you becoming? Some days you beat yourself with your own words that you feel like you're supposed to be more further in your life. You made some wrong turns dealing with certain folks when it came to your vocabulary. Only to realize to hold on 1 second. I ain't trying to lose me another day, regardless of how old I am today. God, please don't mislead me another day. Please don't give up on me. Please show me my signs that I need to see. Allow me to find peace within the better me. I got a couple of wounds that I have within me. When it comes to trauma and pain, please allow me to see I am worthy of healing to see another day. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. You know, everybody's walk of life ain't the same. You know, that child that will never heal the same. You know, losing a mother and father. I don't wish that on nobody. And I say that respectfully. But that baby is so thankful. Because some individuals, they don't have an aunt or uncle or that extended family when it comes to in-laws that actually loves them. You know, some children are put into the world where they gotta grow up and heal on their own. And for folks to do them wrong, not getting the proper guidance, only about to hold on 1 second, everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Did that baby have to endure that type of pain? My content is not for everyone. It's not. That job didn't work out for you. You still being patient just to hold on when it comes to that 9 to 5. But you're looking at everybody else's growth, wishing it was yours. Beating yourself up, but you behind closed doors. Tearing somebody else down, only about to hold on 1 second. I don't want to have this mindset on the day become my own worst enemy. I want to be proud of my neighbor. I want to be able to congratulate my neighbor without having that mindset of having envy. You know, with maturity comes growth. Who would have known that you had it in you? Outgrowing that mindset of toxic behavior. It became the norm for so long because folks used to do you so bad. That's what you only knew at the end of the day. Because that's the household you came from. Only was the hold on 1 second. Self-love can truly last. You know, unconditional love. I love me. Only was the hold on 1 second. The right people showed up for me. That energy is different. Wow. You know, everybody's walk of life ain't the same. It's not. Some people lose a mother and father so young. They didn't ask for that. But they did ask for the right people to be in their life. One day. They wasn't looking for someone to fulfill the shoes as a mother and father. Because nobody can be their mother and father. But to have the proper role model in their life, to have the proper family, or let alone respect around them, friends, associates, you know, just the people that come around them, just to respect their neighbor. That's all they want at the end of the day. They dealing with enough. Nobody deserves that type of pain and lose a loved one, as if it's a mother or father or not. You know, certain individuals that walk around here nowadays that have a mother and father that's alive, and hold on 1 second, it's really one-sided. That baby had to endure that pain. How a mother and father, they know how to show up for that baby. They rejected the baby one day. Who would have known that baby's life would literally change for the better? You know, everybody's walk of life ain't the same, because when you're being rejected from a mother or a father, some people's life truly elevates, and some people's lives actually declines. Only if you knew. Who would have known? Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. My content is not for everyone. It's not, and I don't mean no disrespect in no shape or form. And I say that respectfully. We should be able to live in an environment where we go from point A to Z and respect our neighbor. Somebody's not for you, just keep it pushing. There's no need to bring harm to somebody. You know, instead of psyching somebody, they free will, they pockets, they eyesight, they spiritually, you know, mindset or whatever the case may be. Somebody not for you, keep it pushing. And that's just that. My content is not for everybody. It's not. You know, every community is truly not for you. But the right community, when it's truly for you, regardless of what you're going through mentally, regardless if you're homeless or not, and I don't wish this on nobody. If you're going through a crisis where nobody hears you, sees you, or respects you, regardless to what relationship it is, down to your mother, father, a relationship, a significant other, blackmail, hate crime, discrimination, violence, domestic violence, you should be able to go into a community where they see you, they hear you, they respect you, not to blackmail you against you, to have you mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially robbed. Never. It don't matter about what someone's job title is. You should never have to go into a community that's going to be against you. You are deserving of a community that's going to respect you. Not energy harvest off your energy, not project spur towards you, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, or try to destiny swipe at you, or gang stalk you, or let alone hack your devices. You should never have to be in a community like that. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Or let alone, you should never have to be in a community where you got to worry about from going point A to Z and worry about because your neighbor lacks self-control when it comes to discipline. They plotting against you to have you psych at your free will. You should never have to live in an environment like that. Regardless to how the devil set up certain tools with life. That's not God. That's nothing godly about that. How certain individuals talk about God all day long, but be out here hurting an innocent person. Out here sucking out their free will. Trying to blackmail somebody against themselves. Or because someone truly wants to heal. I am Naya, genuine, love, respect, and my content is not for everyone, and that's okay. It's okay. But one thing for certain, two things for sure. God ain't for sale. And God never been for sale. And I say that respectfully. You could disrespect me all day long, regardless of my sexual orientation, my disability, my age, or my religion. And I say that respectfully. You are deserving to be respected. And let me tell you something too. You're not wrong for standing up for yourself. When the enemy tries to test you and disrespect you, you're not wrong for standing up for yourself when the devil tries to shortchange you. And especially when you never had malicious intentions. You didn't have malicious intentions. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. Someone didn't like the fact that you was more spiritually gifted than them. Someone didn't like the fact that you was more talented than them. I never gave nobody permission to use my creativity as their own. When it comes to third-party conversations, I work alone. Regardless to what next door neighbor in any area code. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Always be yourself when someone says you don't have potential, or when someone threatens your life and tells you ain't nobody gonna believe you because they gonna have their community or people go against you. And never not one time did you have to lie on anybody. I don't run from my past. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. No child or an adult should be homeless. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. It's kind of funny how people pick and choose how to use they funds. Right? Just to talk, just to outdo the next person. You know how many homeless people are in these streets right now? Somebody did not eat last night. Somebody did not eat. Not only did someone did not eat, someone just slept on the street. Someone just slept in front of a Target. Someone just slept in front of a Con Edison building. Someone just slept in front of a grocery store. It was just raining really bad outside. Doesn't matter if it's a single person or not. It does not matter who it is. It's a train of thought for me. And then people be trying to outdo the next person because people be jealous and envious because someone got more experience in this in their life, or they do things differently and special in their own way. Like, it's disgusting. It's called respect your neighbor. If somebody's not for you, just keep it pushing. That's it. There's no need for you to sit there and be a mean girl to somebody at the end there, or a mean dude or something. And then not only that, you're talking shit. It's one thing talking shit, but then when you're behind the scenes or trying to bring harm to somebody, that vocabulary hits different. And then when you're behind the scenes of trying to rob somebody mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, that energy hits different. You know, God sees everything. People say God is not real. You know, God is not clout chasing. And God has never been clout chasing. And God is not for likes and views. And never has been. And God is not for sale. But people use God and mistreat and abuse God. We may not pray the same, but respect is a two-way street. If God is elevating your neighbor, and you're sitting there kicking God down, what you think God gonna do to you? It may not happen right there and then. You sat there and laughed, and in your group text messages, look at this idiot talking about God again. Look at this retard, this dumbass. However you feel about that person, that's a child of God you're bothering now. And they ain't have to do anything to you besides be themselves. And God saw all the private conversations that you had about this innocent person, that knew how to respect their neighbor, how you invite somebody to a table just to humiliate and embarrass them, to bring harm towards them, to say you're going to outdo somebody better than them. When it comes to creativity, y'all both two different people. But if you actually could have respected your neighbor, y'all probably could have sat down and came up with some bright ideas that ain't nobody probably in the world can come up with. Because they say great minds think alike, huh? But, you got to use that vocabulary real wise. Because someone will try to outdo you better than you when they can't. Because when you're a child of God, God elevates you and God restores you. You don't got to sit there and take notes on someone else's life, because it comes from within, that anointings that God has on your life. And because that anointing that God has on your life, someone will try to make sure that you don't ever elevate in life. And they will even blackmail you with conversations with folks that you don't even know. They will make sure that your love life will never ever prosper. They will make sure that your financial stability will never prosper in life. They will make sure that they guarantee, regardless of whatever you do in this world, every direction you turn, they gonna make sure that you live miserably. That's how they feel about you. Imagine respecting somebody, and the first introduction was for them to meet you was envy. Or because you was being your authentic self, being a child of God. It didn't matter about someone's tax bracket that day either. How this type of stuff happens. Someone can have more than you, and you probably barely have no food in your refrigerator. Someone can have more than you, and you're just trying to get your life together. Someone can have more than you, and you probably your biggest cheerleader. You motivate you. You can cry all day long, but God got your back. And they want to dim your light because it's you. How this type of stuff actually happens. You know, it starts with the God within you, right? But you got to always remember that God is actually real. God is in existence. God never left your side. Because when you was in that situation, and you was in that situation, and you was sitting there, how is this going to work out for me? God gave you all the tools you needed. You showed up. And God allowed you to prosper and elevate. And you wasn't doing it for likes and views. And when God sends the right people into your life, it's not about clout, likes and views, jealousy, hate, and envy. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Because why? Because the child of God ain't got that in their vein. And especially one that's truly healing. Because, you know, my concept is not for everybody. It's not. But respect is a two-way street. You don't like somebody, keep it pushing. You don't like the way someone does something or whatever the case may be. Yeah, they not for you. They not trying to hurt you. They ain't got ill intentions towards you. They just elevating their own lane. Always be yourself. They say God ain't real, but God enough sure does work miracles. It's a mother and father right now. They baby in ICU. And they just asking God, please heal my baby. The doctor's saying that baby ain't gonna walk again. That doctor's saying this baby is not going to be able to do the activities that they used to do. Something that a father always prayed for, a mother prayed for, because in the beginning stage of that pregnancy, the doctor said the same thing again. And for them to hear that conversation again, you know, to destroy within that parent mentally, and especially as a man, that they can't protect their baby, or let alone be there for their family mentally strong. Ain't nothing about you a punk or a soft at the end of the day, because it's okay to be emotionally available. And only to find out everybody's situation is not the same. That baby walked out of that coma. That baby is able to walk because now that baby got the proper tools to go from point A to Z. It's going to be a lot of hard work. But a mother and father that loves their child is going to show up. Not everybody has that support team when it comes to a mother and father. This mother and father didn't pick and choose. I know I got 5, 6, 10 kids, but hold on one second. I make sure I'm there for every last one of them. I don't treat none of them differently. Nobody has more privilege than the next person. They all get treated equally, even when they're sick. That baby was able to walk out that hospital. And that father just cries. That mother just cries. Thank you, God. They almost gave up on hope on God. But that father went within and God then allowed. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how I'm going to repay you. Thank you. That's what God did. And that's what you're saying to yourself. Thank you, God. You didn't know how to pray. You thought you was praying wrong. Only for you realize, hold on one second. God didn't overlook you. You call on God, God gonna show up for you. God may not show up on your time, but God enough gonna show up when you least expect it. Because God gonna point you in the right direction. And God gonna make sure whoever's over your baby, whatever procedure that is, that your baby's in the right hands. You know, everybody's walk of life is not the same. But that baby that was in that hospital that day, that was a child of God. And that baby wasn't doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. That was somebody's baby. And you was God's baby too. And God said, you know what? You came a long way in your journey. And God is so proud of you, how mature and you're acting your body weight, not just shoe size no more. You chose you. And because you chose you chose your family. You chose to be the provider and lover to your family. You chose to respect your household, respect your love for your woman or your man or whatever the case may be your situation is. Everybody's walk of life is not the same. But the devil could not take your baby out that day. That energy is different. And you made sure that you protect your child, praying over your child properly every single day when they walk out the house. Because the enemy was on your child. The devil tried to stop your child. But God said, no, not my baby. When you're a child of God, God doesn't want you to psych yourself out your free will. God wants you to live. Because God wants you to heal the next person. Just like that baby just about to heal that mother and father mentally now. That energy is different. They thought they lost the child, only for them to realize, hold on one second. You didn't know how you was going to heal. You didn't know how you was going to start a healing process. And only for you to realize, hold on one second. It's a couple of things that you need to work on mentally. It's a couple of things that you need to fix within you. And you're willing to fix it. And that's even if you have to have a better relationship with your child. Because you was beating yourself up, what did I do wrong as a parent? Why my child? And only for you to realize, hold on one second. Your baby actually loves you. And they couldn't have asked for a better parent than you. My content is not for everybody. And I don't mean no disrespect in no shape or form. Because everybody's walk of life is not the same. It's not. Protect your energy. Protect you and your family. And I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. And God is not for sale, and God has never been for sale. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. You are loved and respected by all the right people. That's truly for you. You know, when you're talking about God, it's not about likes and views or clout chasing. It's not. Because that eternal healing, you gotta sit with yourself. And I say that respectfully. You can't play with God now. You can't. Because God will humble you real quick and fast. You think the enemy gonna humble you quick and fast? You think the devil gonna humble you quick and fast? Nah. In God's time, it hits different. And I don't mean no disrespect because I don't wish bad on nobody. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding.
But I'm about to wrap this video up. It's been real. I gotta go. Always be yourself, but don't molest attention.
I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. Jealousy and envy, it's really getting out of control. It really is, and it's disgusting. It's so disgusting. It don't matter how old somebody is. It's disgusting. It shouldn't matter where somebody's walking to, going to, or from, or whatever the case may be. It should be no reason why someone's getting sent to their free will. Because someone lacks self-control when it comes to discipline. And it didn't matter someone's household. Because people pick and choose who they want to bully. What their malicious intentions. I'm not even on spectators. Currently May 31st, 2025. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. Neighbor, don't dim your light. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I work by myself when it comes to my creativity. Good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day. You know, when God walks into your life and sends directly into your life, it ain't for clout. It ain't for likes and views, and I say that respectfully. I ain't trying to mislead you like a fool.
No. They ain't got hate anything.
I am Naya, genuine love, respect. Never allow someone to tell you ain't got potential. It didn't matter your tax bracket. And I say that respectfully. When you know how to respect your neighbor. We not the same. Thank you for your time. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect. Have a good day.
No, hold on 1 second now.
My content is not for everyone.
I gotta go. Thank you for your time.
Always be yourself with those intentions. Don't ever give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. And I say that respectfully. I do not worship the devil, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.